All right. Friday. Wasn't going to trade today. Woke up, looked at the chart, and decided I might as well. Last night, especially after yesterday's failures, I decided to. Well, I spent a lot of the night at work um, listening to a lot of the old mastering price action videos because what I realized yesterday was that I wasn't following what I'm being taught. I wasn't listening to the lessons. I was kind of just wild west for me. It was kind of just do whatever, do just try anything, and I could see that it wasn't helping me at all. So I listened to the Mastering Price Action course last night while I was at work, and really trying to understand, okay, I'm not following anything. I'm not going with anything. I'm just kind of looking at the chart and acting like a novice trader. I'm looking at the chart and thinking, okay, what do I think? I think it looks like it's a buy. I think it looks like it's a sell. And that's not how you're supposed to look at it, especially if you take the lessons in the Mastering Price Action course. So I was really thinking, okay, when I go into a trade, I need to understand who's in charge. Are the buyers or sellers in charge? What are the fundamentals? Is it a good day for the US dollar? Is it a bad day? Are the markets good? Are the markets bad? So that's another thing. And then, of course, the other thing is, what is the information telling me? How much movement is in the market up to the point that I'm looking at it? What has been happening? Where are we? And where does it look like it's going? So that's, I realized that last night at work. I'm just not taking the lessons to heart, and that's what's hurting me. So listened to as many lessons as I could fit into a work shift, and then I woke up this morning and realized, let me see if I can put this into action. And one of the interesting things that stuck out to me was, what kind of trader are you? Because right now to this point I'm still not sure if I'm a higher time frame trader or a lower time frame trader. I don't know if I'm a quick action trader or if I have the patience to wait several days for a move. So I have been trying on the lower time frames with the US100, and I decided to go as low as I could to see if I could match what I'm learning with what I'm seeing. And so that's what I tried. I went in and I basically saw this right here. Okay, so this looks like a sell, but the overall trend was up. So if you go into the higher time frames, 1 minute, we'll go into the 15-minute, and you can see that we were just fresh off of this one. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, I think the buyers are in charge here for the moment. That's what it looks like. So from this, it looks like the market is ready for a buy. And I went in with that mentality, looking strictly for buys. And that led me to my first trade with, all right, what's been going on? We have this right here. We got these sellers are trying to get in and push the price down, but we have yet to see them succeed because it's kind of in a range right now. And so it gets to this point where we get this tiny little range here, and I'm thinking, all right, this might be it. And that's where I entered my order, and it was at 723. And as soon as I entered, price starts dropping. And with this order, I didn't put in a stop loss. I didn't put in a take profit because right now I'm kind of just at this point at all, I'm kind of just experimenting. I got to see if I know what I'm learning. So it's not so much about winning or losing. It's about, do I understand this? So I'm willing to blow up 100 accounts just to figure this out. And So I entered here thinking that this was the magic moment, but it looks like this was the magic moment. So I saw that and I was like, okay, so this is the spot. There was a quick retracement and then the rocket ship. And when I came into this point, the only thing I did was I added a take profit because I was down so much here, and I was like, you know what? If it comes back, I just want it to close immediately. I don't want to second guess myself. I don't want to overthink it and hold it open because this is not good. This is not a great place to be in. And so as soon as it came back, it hit my take profit and then it closed out. And I was a little relieved at that. And so I gathered this. I was like, okay, I was watching all this, so that's good. You were waiting, you were patient. I kind of thought this was the sign right here, but then it turns out that this was. So okay, learn from that. You almost had. I was so close. And so then I went in on another trade. We watched it come down here. So it's like, okay, the buyers are trying to come back, but then it just dropped. The price came down a lot, and I just ended up watching it. Okay, what's happening? Saw the price go down, saw the price go up, and then we had this huge movement right here. And I feel like I'm missing something, or something got put in the wrong place. No, okay, this is right. So I saw this and I'm following it. I'm like, okay, I think this was when New York opened right in here. That must have been the price. The area where New York opens, and then we have a lot of price movement going on, and then price levels out. And I was following this, watching it. Okay, we got sellers, then buyers trying to push up, sellers, then buyers pushing up a little more successfully, sellers not being able to bring it all the way down, and then buyers going up. And then we have it was around this area right here when I was like, or actually it was this area right there when I saw this little spot, and I kind of got the feeling. I was like, all right, this looks nobody's making any headway. There was a quick move down and then the bounce to push up, and so I was like, all right, that's my sign. So that's where I went in right there, and then I watched it trade sideways for a while, and then it hit my take profit. So I put my take profit here because this is the area we're challenging, and I didn't want to put it way up here because I didn't want it to come up and then reject, and I wanted to put it where a lot of activity had previously happened, and this was exactly the perfect spot for it because you can see it came up, crossed over, my trade closed out, and then it came back down. But we can also see that the price continued to just go up, and I was perfectly fine with that. I got a nice amount at this point from here to here. It didn't even retrace at all towards my stop loss, which is an indication that I'm learning something. I'm figuring something out, that this was a very good entry. And if I would have been watching, I probably could have closed out half of my trade and then let it just keep following up and put my stop loss at break even, and then closed it out up here once it started, bouncing around. So that was a good trade. And that also kind of showed me that, okay, now you're applying the things that you're learning, and that's exactly what you needed to do. But I mean, most of it is it's really just patience and watching the market and seeing what the buyers and what the sellers are doing, and really analyzing the battle as it goes on, and then watching for those little hints. And so then we watched it come down, and of course we did the same thing over here. Price came down, and then we got the struggle, got buyers, sellers, and then we have this range right here, this little range where nobody's making any headway, and a quick like the drop, and that was my cue right here. After this, we got that 2 pushes up, and then that's when I was like, I really wanted to enter down here, but I just wasn't 100% certain. And it was this candle right here that kind of led me to think, all right, this is it, it's going up. And so I entered here, and I put my my take profit up here, and I put my stop loss right here. I was confident from my last trade that it wasn't going to retrace, at least not this far. And then it went up and up and up, and I was good right here. It was about halfway, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to close out half of my trade, and we'll let it ride. And so that was my take profit, or half of my take profit. And then I moved my stop loss from here to right here. That was the new stop loss that I put in. And as you can see, it came back and it hit my stop loss right there, and I closed out for just a very, very little bit of profit. But overall, that trade was very profitable, and mostly because I didn't get greedy and I didn't just want to watch it. Like, I wasn't expecting it to shoot up like this. I was hoping, but I was not expecting it, which is why I was like, okay, I think I'm going to close out half of it here. So I closed out half, and it worked out for the best. And now, this next trade is what wrecked me. Watching the price. So it didn't take off here. So mentally, I'm thinking it's building up to take off later. It's going to take off, so I just need to wait. And I waited, and I thought this was the mark right here. This wasn't the mark. I went in for a trade here, no stop loss, no take profit, just watching and waiting. And from here it went down, it came up, and then it just started to crash. And I'm watching the price action, and it's not, you can see there's not a lot of action happening right here. Not a lot. It's just kind of ranging right here. It's kind of just dead from here to here, and then it just crashed. And that's where I got stopped out. But not only that, that's where my account got exploded, and I blew my account. And that also was a very important lesson when I see something like this, where I'm expecting it to go up and it doesn't, and I was able to get a little bit off it, but it wasn't the big move I was expecting, and I could have waited just a little bit more, and if I would have waited just a little, I would have seen this. I would have seen all this, and I could have followed it, and then from here, from this area, I could have got the information that I needed. I could have seen the buyers come in, the sellers come in, buyers come in, and here, that would have been the moment right there. This little range right here would have been the thing that I needed to take off, and it would have taken off. So I'm getting better. I'm becoming more aware, and it's basically just applying the knowledge that you have. It's not going into a trade ignorant or like a novice trader. So I'm gonna have to open a new account. Thank goodness it's just funny money, because I wasn't really concerned with stop losses and take profits at this point. I was kind of just let's just test to see where my knowledge is at, if I'm understanding or if I'm following the lessons and the rules that have been set up. And so first trade was kind of a test. These 2 trades in the middle were, I think, really good. I think I was really, really smart with it. And then this last trade was also just an experiment that went wrong. But this weekend I will be doing a lot more studying. I'll be going over the videos. Instead of just listening to them, I'll be watching them and making sure that I'm really, really getting the information and really, really absorbing it. And then I'll be following step by step on the chart as well, and maybe going over some of my trades to see where exactly I I was wrong, and I wasn't following the teachings of Naveen. But it's interesting. It's really interesting because I have the knowledge. I've watched the videos. I've listened to the videos several times already. And I had this mentor when I was working at this one job. He was a supervisor who really trained me and taught me a lot. And he was teaching me to be a manager of a location of our company. And so week by week, he would teach me new things. He would teach me how to run the computer, how to fill out the paperwork, how to order things, and just how to do everything a manager's supposed to do. And then it was time for him to leave. And he would always tell me at every point, or not every point, but at certain points along the line, like through the days, through the weeks, through the months, there was always like points where he would be like, you already know everything you need to know. You just have to do it. And then he would teach me more things. And then he would say, you already know everything you have to do. You just need to do it. And then when he left, he would call me. He was like, you already know what you need to do. Just do it. And he was right. All I had to do was just act on the knowledge that he had taught me. And it's interesting because I basically already know. I've seen the videos many times. I've watched them. I've listened to them. And I know what's expected. I know what I'm supposed to do. I just need to do it. And that's kind of what I did with these good trades. I took what I knew, what was expected, and I did it. And that's why these trades were successful. Now, I can't say 100% that I understand what I'm talking about, or even what Naveen's talking about, but I can tell you that it is starting to make sense, and I am starting to get it. So it's just very, very interesting. So there's really no need to go over these actual trades, because like I said, I blew up I wasn't interested in making any money. I was just interested in understanding where I was on the spectrum of knowledgeable and novice. And so now I kind of can see, okay, I've made a little bit of progress, and that's good. That feels good. So I'm looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to this new account that I'm going to open with the amount of money that I'm going to put in to start trading. And with this experience, I'm looking forward to seeing how much more successful I can be. So it's very exciting. And it's interesting that sometimes things just click, and it's interesting when things just click, and it just takes time. It just takes time and work and dedication. So not really a post-analysis video, kind of just a state of trading where I'm at right now. So if you've watched this far, I appreciate it. I hope that you can learn something from it. I hope that I helped you out and gave you a little bit of encouragement. And I'll see you on the charts.